Okay, we did the topic of measurement. The purpose is to recognize the ways measurement is utilized in the elementary classroom, to understand the ways measurement is found within the mathematics curriculum, to introduce engaging interactive activities for teachers to guide or teach measurement lessons.
Basically, we found this quote. It's very long, we won't read the whole thing out loud, but it came from John Quincy Adams in an address to Congress in 1821, and it talks about why measurement is so important and why there needs to be a standard of measurement. So that was very helpful to us, and it kind of focused our whole presentation.
Okay, this is the background or history of measurement. The Egyptian royal cubit was the earliest known form of standardized system of linear measurement. It was used to also record the height of the Nile flood. The Romans took the idea of the foot from the Egyptians, 5 feet equals 1 pace, which is described as a double step or the distance between two consecutive positions where the right foot lands as one walks.
In England, King Henry I took the same idea from the Romans and said that 1 yard was the equivalent from the tip of his nose to the end of his outstretched thumb, like this, which you could tell would be very different person to person. This doesn't equal 1 yard for everyone. But it was the ideas of the English that, because of their colonization all over the world, really helped to standardize measurement, because the English had colonies in India, they were in England, they were all over the place, and when they came to America, it was those ideas that were brought into the American colonies, and then America.
Okay, in the past there was no standard unit of measurement, which led to much error. Different aspects of measurement is used within the elementary mathematics curriculum. Measurement is not only utilized in the classroom, but in everyday life occurrences, such as when dealing with time, distance, and weight. We have come from using body parts and measuring tools to now having standards that can be understood all over the world.
The first activity, this is the one that we're just more or less going to explain. Basically what you would do is, it's similar to what we did in class when we measured with our feet, but instead of feet, we're using a paper clip, because all students can have a paper clip and it would be the exact same measurement for each one instead of more of an estimation. So as a class, we have a little dinosaur, and you would take the paper clip, the students can come up one by one and do it. They would also have the dinosaur in front of them on paper, and would measure little things like his head is 1, 2, 3 paper clips long, and go one by one down the list. And then they would take the same paper clip and have to use those same ideas to measure their notebook, pencil, height of their desk, a box of crayons. They could do this in a group. We're leaning this more towards a second grade classroom, because second graders, they can't always do things exactly on their own, so with a partner, they can do it. And it goes with the New York Common Core standards, one of them being that they can estimate lengths using inches, feet, centimeters, and meters. Another is measure the length of an object twice using length units of different lengths for 2 measurements. Describe how the 2 measurements relate to the size of the unit chosen. And also measure to determine how much longer one object is than another, expressing the length difference in terms of a standard length unit. That will come more into our second activity. Then after they did this with the pencils, they would get rulers and the same dinosaur and have to measure it then with the dinosaur. My head is blank centimeters long. My hind legs are, and they also would need to know that these were the hind legs as compared to the front legs. How tall in inches, as well as, like, some are centimeters, some are inches. One of them says that if his teeth were 6 inches long about how many centimeters is that, which is the comparison of inches to centimeters. Then they go back to their same list of objects that they measured in paper clips and measure them again in inches and centimeters.
Okay, so this is the second activity. I handed out crayons cutouts. So what you're going to do is you're going to find two that are the same length.
You would start out by kind of asking which one of these is longer.
Pencils?
Yeah, which one is longer. Many students, when given two objects that might be exactly the same, but if one is held in front of the other, it appears to be longer or bigger. So these are two identical pencils, but many second graders will say that this one is longer because it goes on more.
Right. Okay, so now find two of the crayons that are the same length. And can anybody tell me how you know they're the same length?
When you put them next to each other, you see that one's not taller than the other.
Right. Okay. So then, now, take the crayons and move them far apart from each other on your desk. Will moving the crayons a different amount of distance result in them being different sizes or no? No, how do you know that?
They still look the same in height.
Okay, so now you would have the students keep one of the crayons that are the same length, and now you have two others. You're going to compare each crayon to the original, and then sort them into height order.
From smallest to biggest to largest.
Okay, and then we just circle around and check for accuracy on the size in the right order.
Both of these activities are somewhat ongoing assessments. You're seeing whether or not the students are understanding each concept before you move on. The first activity, if they weren't understanding the paper clips, you wouldn't move on to the ruler. And same thing with these. You need to start with the concrete material. And this also, if with more time, we would have given you the crayons to color and cut out and learn yourself, but you were given them to save more time.
Okay, so now you got a longer and shorter worksheet. And the one that's shaded is going to be your standard unit of measurement that you're going to compare to the rest of them that have the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. And you're going to cut out each of these. And you're going to compare the standard unit to the others and put them in two groups of which are the same length and which are smaller and which are bigger. Bigger or smaller?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just two groups, ones that are shorter than the standard and ones that are longer. You need scissors?
No, I'm good.
Oh yes, have them.
Oh, you need this.
Yeah. One thing that came up in all of our research on this topic is how important measurement is on such a large scale of little things like architects need exact measurements to build a building, to design and build buildings. Doctors need to use it to prescribe medicine. It comes up not only in our everyday lives of measuring time, distance, travel, but also in so many
Professions.
And measurements and